Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ambassador's Lounge. For Pakistan, untying the Afghan knot has become far more complicated, threatening peace and security of the country. The two countries, that is Pakistan and Afghanistan, not only share common border, they have a number of commonalities: cultural, linguistic, ethnic, religious. Yet the relationship is defined by mistrust and suspicion. It has been a difficult relation from the very start. Ladies and gentlemen, it all started in 1947 when Afghanistan under King Zahir Shah refused recognition to Pakistan. In addition, there were a number of other issues like Afghanistan's claim on large swathes of Pakistan's territory, the Durand Line, the political confrontation, border disputes. However, the relationship has persisted except for a brief period of time, that is in 1961 to 63, when the diplomatic relations were severed. Now, with the advent of Taliban 2.0 in August 21, it was hoped that peace would return to the country and to the region, and that Pakistan and Afghanistan would be able to develop their relations. Pakistan had hoped that Afghanistan would curtail the activities of TTP and cross-border terrorism. It was further hoped that the issue of Durand Line and Afghanistan's claim to Pakistan territory would go away. But that was not to happen. We apparently miscalculated the importance of or the benefits of Taliban's return to power. Resultantly, the issues between the two have returned to haunt our relationship. Now the question is, are we paying the price of decades of investment on an extremist group? What does the future hold? These are the issues I will be discussing with my panelists, Ambassador Asif Durrani and Ambassador Amjad Sher. Asif, let me come to you. Now, Pakistan has been accused of interfering in Afghan affairs, trying to shape the Afghan destiny to our advantage. The range of our efforts and involvement have been extensive. We promoted the emergence of government that would reduce our own vulnerabilities, both internal and external. Were we simplistic in assuming that all problems would vanish with the coming of Taliban?
Thank you, Imran. Let me begin with your introduction. Afghanistan opposed Pakistan's admission to UN only for 2 weeks, because then their PR did not have the instructions. And once he got the instructions, he not only withdrew his objection, but congratulated Pakistan.
Let me have clear.
No, please, let me
clear this aspect which you have raised, that it was the decision was because the instructions had not reached the ambassador. Now, you have worked in UN. Yes vote or no vote, it reflects a definite policy. When there are no instructions or when we have to in between, there is either absentees or abstain. Now, this has also to be considered from in the background of 1947 referendum where NWFP supported for Pakistan, and Afghanistan objected to that.
You interfered, Imran. The question is, it was withdrawn, not only withdrawn, but Afghan representative congratulated Pakistan,
yes, of course,
for becoming the UN member.
Yes.
So it means that objection has no value whatsoever, but it has got stuck into our briefs. I wanted to correct on that. So this is something.
History might be different on that.
No, it is our interpretation. Like you are talking about Durand Line. It is a non-issue as far as Pakistan is concerned.
But not for the Afghans.
Forget about it. No, it is.
You can't forget. Since the beginning,
they have never raised
line
it.
Has been an issue.
Imran Yawar, they have never raised it officially with Pakistan. And both sides.
Their leaders have called it an imaginary line.
Oh, fine. Let them call it. Let them call it. Indians have been telling it that it was an artificial partition. What happened? We are a reality. So I think we should behave in our interaction with Afghanistan like a mature nation and treat Afghanistan as a sovereign state. So during line, Afghans can't dare cross an inch as far as border is concerned. And we don't do that. So it is, you can say, for the sake of argument, Afghans have been, otherwise there is no dispute between Pakistan and Afghanistan. This is a mindset. And they have continued with that mindset. Why? There is a symbiotic relationship as you referred to. There are common ethnicities. They are very much there and they have been interacting with each other despite bad relationship between the governments. 61, 63, you talked about our snapping of the relationship. It harmed Afghanistan more. Same is true now. Afghans, in fact, look towards Pakistan rather than other 5 neighbors. It's because of the symbiotic relationship which we have. Don't forget that. And we almost cater for their food requirements. Almost 3 million tons of wheat is grown for Afghanistan.
Asif, please come to the question.
No, listen.
You are just giving a general overview.
What you have now, your basic question, that we wanted to dictate terms, I think this has happened in a way which there are maybe many, you can say, objections we can talk about that this should not happen. But that is a matter of detail. Right now, Taliban are a reality. They are completing their 4th year of their rule. And there are difficulties. I don't think that the situation between Afghanistan and Pakistan is so bleak. I don't rate it. Yes, there are irritants. Those irritants are also of our making, and we have to address that within our own borders. That is, when we proceed further, we can talk about that.
I'm just coming to you. Now, there are many aspects of Pakistan-Afghan bilateral relations. Their claims on Pakistan territory, Asif has
clarified that.
Yes, and I don't know whether he has clarified it. Then there is the issue of Durand Line, which Asif says.
You are not satisfied yet.
Durand Line, which he says.
But next time we should do the program, and you should bring in your objections. Then I will try to address them also.
Ambassador, calm down. I'm just coming to you. So our solutions have been very simplistic, rather oversimplistic. Like erecting, we thought of erecting a physical barrier, thousands of kilometers. A fence, right. Now, we disrupted an arrangement which has been there for over centuries. Your views on that?
Well, in the first place, obviously we were supposed to do it because there were so many things. One, illegal infiltration from the Afghan side. We wanted to stop that, especially of the terrorist groups, TTP and other terrorist groups. Second was the drug smuggling. We were supposed, and we had to do it because to stop the drug smuggling. Third most important thing was the illegal trading also. So we have tried to this trade should be regulated through normal border crossing, not through illegal means. So this one. As regards your question about the Durand Line, Ambassador Asif Durrani has adequately answered your question. Durand Line is no more Durand Line, it is called Pak-Afghan border. Officially, it is duly recognized by the UN as a Pak-Afghan, internationally recognized as a Pak-Afghan border.
So we should just overlook the statements of Afghan leaders.
It is all media. It is all media created. It is created by those.
Their ministers are quoting it, calling it as an artificial line, an imaginary line.
Maybe they are trying to irritate you, but you should not be irritated.
Okay, we should not be irritated. Okay. Asif, coming back to you. Now, we have used maximum pressure on Taliban. And there was a time when we were supportive of Taliban at the international fora. We stopped this supportive policy. We tightened restrictions on Afghan trade, decided to expel undocumented Afghan refugees using military strikes inside Afghanistan. Now, but there's no substantial shift, or we don't see any substantial shift in the group's policies. What do you attribute the intransigence to?
Well, on trade, I think the transit trade, which we want to subject under restrictions, I don't subscribe to that policy of our government. You may impose those restrictions. There are always negative lists. But the problem is that the demand for this smuggling goods is generated within Pakistan. And Karachi is the hub of generating that demand. And then our corrupt officials are hand in glove in that smuggling racket. So I think there's a need to exercise extra vigilance along the borders. For instance, these smuggled vehicles from Afghanistan, they are not on the transit list. Why they are coming into Pakistan in thousands? It's not a needle which is you can hide it somewhere, and they are then regularized. Why regularize them? Why don't you destroy them? Afghanistan has 5 other neighbors. They don't have that problem. Reason is they are vigilant within their own borders. So vigilance is the name of the game. So we think that we will exercise this transit trade as a leverage. It has not worked because Afghans have alternate route through Iran. They can, yes, it would be expensive, 25 to 30% transportation cost. It's a possibility.
It's lengthy.
But still, alternate is concerned, is available, and then they can use Iran route to smuggle items inside Pakistan if they want to.
But what do you attribute the intransigence of Taliban to?
You call it intransigence, I'll call it they probably don't understand how to conduct a relationship. And we also, in fact, prompted them, we propped them up over the years. This TTP thing is what? It is, they are Pakistanis. They are Pakistanis, and ideologically they are aligned with the Afghan Taliban. Why did we allow that? Because of the erosion of rule of law in our own land. I blame the erosion of rule of law within Pakistan that you find this TTP as a phenomenon or BLA as a phenomenon.
So, Amjad, intransigence of the Taliban, that doesn't bother you?
No,
I mean, they refuse to accept you, they have rejected your domineering policies?
In fact, in the plan, what are the causes behind it? We have to look at there are 2 sides of Taliban. Taliban of May 1997, because they took over Kabul with the assistance and help of Pakistan. And now August 2021, they on their own, they took over Kabul. Again, they also ensured that the Doha agreement, which they had with the United States of America for the withdrawal of the American forces, they ensured the exclusion of Pakistan from the Doha agreement. And and after that, Pakistan was left alone. So their intransigence, they want to see the second phase of the Taliban is they are now independent in their decisions making. They no more rely on Pakistan as a partner. Maybe Pakistan might have facilitated the talks between the United States of America and the Taliban, who were fighting for the withdrawal of the American forces and against the Ashraf Ghani government. But this time the Taliban, they think they have many options. You might have seen they are coming closer to India. They have also, China has almost very close. The option is China is also, they are also exploring the ways of the trading through Iran.
So
all
you're saying is more avenues are opening to them, and at the same time they have rejected our domineering policies.
They are not rejecting, well, obviously this was our flawed perception that we can dominate Afghans. No, this
That's
is not
interesting.
possible, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think, if I may add, that Pakistan has been dominating the scene in Afghanistan. Pakistan can't do it. Pakistan has no capacity to dominate Afghanistan. No one, no power on earth can dominate Afghanistan. So Pakistan can't do it. So let's be
For
clear.
a long time, as if they were considered as
There
our
may be
proxies.
wishes.
They were considered as our proxies.
There may be wishes and there may have been blames, accusations. Yes, possible. You cannot, influence an Afghan in this manner. It's not possible. It is historical fact. I'm not, revealing something new. And the other thing is that Afghanistan, as a sovereign country, has a right to have relationship with all the countries. Who are we to object to that?
Obviously.
And then when you talk about India, again there is a history, and that history is that since 47 till date, India could not extract support on its stance on Kashmir till date. So Afghanistan maintained a neutral stance. So I want to disabuse the concept of dominating Afghanistan, or for that matter, Afghans ditching Pakistan. They know at the strategic level what kind of a relationship they have to maintain, irrespective whether it is Zahir Shah, Dawood, communists, or for that matter, the Taliban. But on the ground, yes, there are tribal relationship, and there is a mindset as far as so-called Durand line is concerned. They call it artificial line or what. What does artificial line mean? We need to interpret that also.
They don't accept it.
No, but we need to explain this artificial line. Okay, fine. So they want to join Pakistan. They are more than welcome.
No. I think what they say is that Pakistan is occupying territories. Occupying territories which belong to Afghanistan, and this is the stance which they have been taken since 1947. This was the reason why they
Ambassador Imran Yawar,
they opposed Pakistan.
Ambassador Imran Yawar, they lost in 1893 under the Durand Agreement, under which each inch of the territory has been demarcated with annexes.
Correct.
And Pakistan, as an inheritor state, got it. And Afghan king Abdur Rahman got 12 lakh rupees as a privy purse under Article 7 of the Durand Agreement. So here Afghans don't have any case as far as claim on this territory is concerned.
Totally agreed.
And then if the issue is under Treaty of Gandamak, they got Wakhan. British gave them because they did not want to have direct contact with Russia.
It's a good point, Trace. Yes, Amjad.
In the Ranjit Singh era in the 18th century, they themselves handed over Peshawar. Peshawar was a winter capital of Afghanistan at that time. Handed over Peshawar to the Ranjit Singh government with this assurances that they would not allow, Ranjit Singh government would not allow the British to come to Kabul via Peshawar. So Peshawar they had lost in the 18th century. And then in the 71 to 75 during the Sardar Dawood time, there were serious talks of confederation between the Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Asif, coming to you. Now, ostensibly, both TTP and Afghan Taliban view Pakistan as economically weak and politically unstable. Our diplomatic overtures have not worked. Our pivot to aggressive posture did not succeed in downgrading, apparently did not succeed in downgrading the TTP. We have failed to extract meaningful concessions from Taliban. On the contrary, TTP and Afghan Taliban have countered Pakistan military action with their own cycle of retaliatory violence. In this scenario, Asif, what is our bargaining range?
There's no need for bargain on TTP.
And I'm not talking about on
No,
TTP.
I'm responding
just
to your
talking-
question. I'm responding to your question. There's no need for bargain.
Of course, there's no need to bargain on TTP.
Or even with the Afghan Taliban. The reason is TTP is an illegal entity, non-state actor. You cannot compromise. They have to owe their allegiance to Pakistan's constitution. Their objection to Pakistan constitution that it is un-Islamic is nonsensical because they have been unable to point even a single clause of the constitution which is un-Islamic. More importantly, a non-state actor cannot be allowed to dictate its terms through force. And yes, during American presence in Afghanistan after the 9/11, TTP, they were part of this Afghan Taliban setup of 1.0. They have ideological relationship with each other. Both are ideological cousins. That is working. But here we have to also be clear as far as TTP is concerned. They have no governing spaces in Pakistan. They are not a popular movement in Pakistan. And it is only a matter of time when they will be smoked out. And I think this should also serve for the Afghan Taliban that their support or the allowing sanctuaries to the TTP in Afghanistan. Perhaps they may do so for a while, but ultimately it will harm their own interests.
Amjad.
One thing
Yes,
more I
please,
would like,
please.
that since 1979, after the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan, there was a lot of violence. And since then, till the August 2021, Afghanistan has been going through a violence era. So the Afghans have learned nothing more and nothing else except violence. And now they are using violence. Now the TTP and other, groups like BLA and ISIS and other groups, they are using violence as a ploy, as a tactic to destabilize governments. So violence is another. Now Afghan Taliban have yet to learn this statecrafts. So I think that now slowly and gradually they have to come to the negotiation table and work out their relationship with other countries.
Staying with you, now TTP has become an agent provocateur.
Yes.
It is damaging relations between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Apparently, it has more leverage with the Taliban than we have. They share ideological affinity, then there is Pashtun identity. TTP has also served as a force multiplier for the Taliban. Therefore, it is highly unlikely that what Asif said, I think it is unlikely that Afghan Taliban would abandon or ostracize the TTP. This is a security challenge for Pakistan. Are we capable of taking on two adversaries?
Well, in the first place, the Afghan Taliban have to learn that harboring terrorist groups in their own territory is not even helpful for them. They have to do away with these terrorist groups, whether they are TTP or whether they are BLA or ISIS or whatever terrorist groups. If they want to live as a reasonable, respectable, honorable community in the world affairs. Secondly is that TTP may be a violence provocateur in Pakistan, and they may be also hiding in certain areas in Afghanistan. But the bordering areas between Pakistan and Afghanistan, they are unmanageable, ungovernable. They can easily hide in those areas. They are a challenge, but we have our potentials, we have, the forces, we can take care of them. And hopefully the Afghan government will also realize that this is not helpful for them.
How can do you think there's a need to involve regional countries in this, Asif?
Well, it's not that serious. I think it will take a while.
What is not that serious?
Well, I think you have to be realistic because the key lies within our own territory. And you have to smoke them out. I've said it earlier also.
They have sanctuaries in Afghanistan.
Well, sanctuary would not help because 6,000 militants are not coming in one go and they are raiding Pakistan. They come in tens, 20s.
That's the problem.
No,
They come in tens and
let me-
20s, they create, they kill, they murder, they burn.
So they are also killed.
Yes.
They are also killed. So it is an exercise which is going on and it will continue for a while. The reason is you have to smoke them out within their own sanctuaries inside Pakistan. That the success rate of, smoking out their sanctuaries here inside Pakistan would actually matter because then they will feel, in fact, shelterless inside Afghanistan also. And then we should not shy of conducting intelligence-based operations inside Afghanistan. Yes, I would not support air raids, but intelligence-based operations, we can pay them in the same coin. And I think that should be the policy and it will take a while. Reason is that Afghan Taliban should not forget that if they were supported by Pakistan at some point of time, so that support can also be withdrawn. And if their opponents can also be supported. So I think while sitting in glass house, they should not throw
Do you want
stones.
to say something?
The PTM, Pashtun Tahrik Tahaffuz movement, is basically a Pashtun speaking on both sides of Pashtun. So we also need to take on board and give importance to PTM so that the Pashtun on both sides can also be reassured that the Pakistani forces are not taking these, maybe the TTP may be largely Pashtun, ethnically Pashtun group. But at the other side, we need, because we are also losing our intelligence, those people who were giving us the intelligence information, we are also losing them because now largely the Pashtun ethnic group is also suffering because of the actions or military action that we are taking in those areas. So we need to take on board the Pashtun PTM and allow them the political, activities so that they can also feel assured.
Amjad, do you think Afghan Taliban would ostracize or abandon TTP?
Well, I think they have to do it. And
But they have to do it another issue. Will they do it?
yes, they will. They can do it, and they have to do it.
They can simply tell them to switch off.
Relocate them.
Switch off. That
I think I've heard you people talking in one of these meetings, seminars, that they carry arms freely inside Afghanistan.
Yes.
Such is the laxity the Afghan Taliban are showing to them. And
no,
then
they
you
have been
say
issued
that
licenses, while common
still they
Afghan
have
cannot.
licenses. They
common-
are carrying weapons. which
Common Afghan
according to
cannot.
common Afghans are not.
Yeah, they have the official patronage.
That's
That
what I'm
is
saying. They have the
important.
official
And
patronage.
their leaders are living in Afghanistan, and they are, in fact, harboring all kind of conspiracies from Afghanistan. And the worrisome part is that it is just not the TTP guys. Afghan Taliban are also part of those formations which attack.
The foot
Afghanistan.
soldiers.
Yes. So that is the worrying, and this is what we want to tell the Afghan interim government, that this action needs to be checked.
But you have been telling them, we have been telling them quite a lot.
well,
I think they understand it,
I
and they
think
know
it-
our red lines. Yet, as I said, they are intransigent. They refuse to budge.
There are highs and lows. Now these days
There are no lows.
There are
highs.
no these days.
As far as TTP is concerned, I've not seen any lows.
Since Ramadan onwards, there are lows. And rather there have been more operations from Pakistani side inside Pakistani territory. So I think it will be a long haul. You will not have quick results.
Amjad, as Taliban get more confident and they feel that they do not need the support of Pakistan for their survival, they are engaging independently. And Asif rightly said that, of course, they are an independent sovereign country. They have the right to conduct their foreign policy independently of Pakistan. They are interacting with China, with Russia, India, and now according to latest reports, they are also engaging with the Americans. The Americans, and some reports say they have given the Bagram base, handed it to the Americans. I don't know how far it is true, but they say that their planes have landed, etc. So what are the chances of Pakistan being sidelined permanently from Afghan affairs, and should we be concerned about that?
Well, in the first place, let me clarify it that there was this news about handing over Bagram Air Base to the United States of America is all baseless, unfounded. There is no such thing as it is reported in the media. The American delegation led by the Assistant Secretary of States, but he said that he would not visit Afghanistan and requested Zalmay Khalilzad to accompany him, because Zalmay Khalilzad is basically originally an Afghan. So he led there, and
that was this what you are referring to. It was before. Now this.
No, let me just give you the background. And then that was Zalmay Khalilzad was there with that visited Afghan Taliban, and it was only for the release of the American detainees, which was the. Now the other thing which you can, and there was no such flying over the American C-130 aircraft. It just flew over the Afghan territory. The American delegation came from Qatar, and they came by the Qatari aircrafts, not by the C-130.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Amjad is right. Americans would not, because that would also imply that Americans are heading towards some kind of a recognition of the Taliban.
If you see this thing, Mr. Trump has been saying that it was a mistake to abandon Bagram Air Base. He said it during his election campaign. He said it a couple of weeks back that I am going to take Bagram back.
It all happened during his time.
Because China is there. They've handed.
Well,
so these are what Mr. Trump has been
saying. You have to take Mr. Trump's these rhetorics with a pinch of salt, because he signed the agreement. Did that mention that Bagram would be kept by the Americans? No. Agreement does not say that. So this is nonsensical. And Afghan Americans, I don't think they have the appetite, unless the human rights issues like girls' education and women's right to work is in fact honored by the Taliban government.
By the way, Bagram was developed and constructed by the Soviets in the 1950s.
60s.
Yeah.
Anyway, Asif, Pakistan has ordered Afghan refugees holding ACCs to leave the country or risk deportation. This implies that hundreds of thousands who have lived in Pakistan for decades are being asked to leave. Is expelling them a case for our national security?
Well, there could be different views as far as expelling them, but in any case, they were illegal entrants in Pakistan when they were issued Afghan citizen cards, ACC, in 2015 in an agreement with the Ashraf Ghani government. Afghans can't claim a refugee status under ACC cards. So expelling them was not illegal. The government of Pakistan issued a notice that they have to leave, so they have to leave. For instance, if you and me go to Afghanistan, we go with our passports with with the visas affixed. If we overstay, we will end up in the jail. So I think it is universal, and internationally no one could raise objection on that. Actual thing is that the main worry is that those Afghans who came after the withdrawal of the American troops, their number is also over 600,000. What to do about that? Because their visas are being extended, and they were here because the Americans and other Western nations had assured that their cases are being processed. But now that process from the American side has been stopped. That their cases are in a limbo, and that would become a problem for Pakistan, and that would be the cause of, in fact, tensions between Pakistan and other nations also, because they are pressuring Pakistan. Then there is a category of 1.4 million proof of registration POR card holders. They are also not refugees. UNHCR, although there is an agreement between Pakistan, UNHCR, and the Afghan government as far as PR is concerned, but UNHCR is not supporting them financially. Government of Pakistan assures that they can have their bank accounts, their families can live here, their children can be educated. So those facilities are available to them. But having said that, they have been living here, I think it's the third generation. Many of the children, they have never seen Afghanistan. They speak the local language and all that. So here, I think the humanitarian aspect needs to be seen, and that would actually, for instance, deporting them, if illegal, fine. But the question is, the kind of ill will they will carry about
exactly.
Pakistan.
That was my next point, Amjad, to you. That the ill will and the humiliation which they are enduring at the moment, which we see clips, etc. Will that not create a permanent enemies out of them?
Well,
remove goodwill for Pakistan if there was any.
You know, during the last 40 years, we have gained and won the love and respect and regard of the Afghan people who came after 1979. And as Ambassador Asif Durrani mentioned, that now they have children, rather grandchildren. So what they have never visited Afghanistan, not seen, and they don't know anybody back home in Afghanistan. So what they will do? Yesterday I was watching on the YouTube there was one Qari whose daughter was just 15 years, and the Qari was told that to leave Pakistan, and he was weeping that what should I do with my daughter? She was born here. What should I do? So the policemen were offering a chair to please sit here, and he was, this kind of situation is there. So it is better to issue them resident cards, and they can also pay taxes. They can also be helpful in our economy. They cannot do anything, and they are not known to Afghan style and the Afghan people.
So this stand of ours that it's out of security concerns that the government is taking this
I think this security concern is only from those people those who are living on the border sides, are inside Afghanistan and coming and going back. So, but these people who are living here in the urban areas or in the rural areas, there has never been any security concern from these people. Rather, why should they do things which are not of any help to them?
Okay, gentlemen, final question. I'll ask your views of both of you. Having discussed everything, I have always felt that, or I failed to understand the lack of goodwill which we see in Afghans in Pakistan, despite having stayed here for decades.
Well, I don't think that people to people level you will find this distrust. They have, and by and large, those refugees were living here peacefully. So there hasn't been any ugly situation that has emerged during the past 4 decades. And reason is, I think our people, those who have got power, or those who are the movers and shakers, they somehow, perhaps they thought they will use it as a leverage against the Taliban. But it has not worked. Reason is, Taliban are absolutely insensitive about their people. They don't care whether this refugee dies or he lives, because for them the worth of human life is almost nil. And our people thought that they will use it as a leverage. It is not
But
working.
why this ill will, Amjad?
Well,
we have seen them during the cricket matches. We have seen the reaction of the Afghans who have been living here towards Pakistanis.
Well, in fact, during the cricket matches, as you have mentioned, obviously they have their feelings and their sympathies and their support with their own team,
I've
Afghanistan.
even seen clips where an Afghan was saying that their sympathies lie with India, and then
Well, you can say
You
a
have
few
different
things,
people,
people-
Pakistanis living in UK, British nationals, they support Pakistani team.
So,
I think in sports, we should have the sportsman spirit, and this is also my advice to the Afghans also. It's a sport.
and if there was any ill will, there would not have been any intermarriages. There are intermarriages.
intermarriages.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good omen. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that Pakistan's involvement in Afghan affairs has been extensive. But it is important to understand that the security of Pakistan is linked to stability inside Afghanistan. We therefore worked to promote a friendly government inside Afghanistan. The logic was to secure the western borders. However, in the process, we got too involved in Afghan affairs. We had idealistic expectations rather than pragmatic solutions. We invested in creation of a group, rather an extremist group, which blended Pashtun nationalism with Islamist ideology. TTP was their natural ally inside Pakistan. They fed on resentments within the society, on deprivation and disillusionment. Now we find ourselves in a situation where on one hand we have to deal with tensions with the Taliban, and on the other hand we have to deal or confront the TTP. This requires national cohesion, national unity. It envisages unity among all the political parties. Therefore, I believe that our strategy on Afghanistan should be threefold. First, we must deal with security, internal security. Then, as my panelists also said, there is a need to permanently and continuously engage with the Afghans, with the Taliban. And finally, we need to focus on the possibility of regional cooperation to resolve this issue. Thank you for watching Ambassador's Lounge, and we will be back.